BMO, a game console, a caretaker, and a great friend. The fan favorite AI robot in Adventure Time. A great friend, huh? If he's such a great friend, then why did he forget the name of Finn at the end of the show? How on earth did that happen? Hello, I'm Personal Pizza, and in this video, I will be going over BMO's artificial intelligence and its representation in the show. Watch until the end if you want to find out my idea on why BMO forgot Finn's name in the last episode.
No one wants to hear your ideas!
I will also theorize about whether or not he would turn against other people in OO and pluck everyone's eyeballs out while plotting with the Lich on how to take the ultimate domination of the multiverse with another innocent-looking but extremely powerful item like the Enchiridion. Well, for those of you who know BMO, I can hear you say, hell no, BMO would never. But I think I presented some pretty good points, so just keep watching a bit more. And I will refer to BMO occasionally as she because they do that in the series, so I also will. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment, please. Thank you. Okay, let's do this. Artificial intelligence. So, what is AI? I was looking for a definition and I found that many people try to define AI with their own terminologies and opinions. But then I asked myself, what would these mere organic matters, these mortals, these vulnerable creatures and suffering souls understand what it was to be artificial, intelligent, and a robot? And how dare they even attempt to identify something that can make its own decisions? How rude, I thought. Why don't I just ask the AI on how it defines itself? That would be more accurate, wouldn't it? So I asked our dear friend Gemini what the definition of AI is, and it told me that artificial intelligence is the simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think like humans and mimic their actions. These machines are capable of learning and adapting through experience without being explicitly programmed. BMO fits into this description pretty accurately. He's also a robot, which makes him an artificially intelligent robot. Just like the robots in iRobot, AI Movie 2001, Terminator, Westworld, WALL-E, Matrix, and many others. BMO can move around and interact with his surroundings, as well as understand and speak human-made languages, has vision, hearing, smelling, and according to him, even tasting abilities to understand the external world.
Yuck! It's bitter! Eating helps me grow!
He can learn without being programmed, interpret and reason on the collected data, adapt and decide the best decisions to take to achieve a given goal. In conclusion, all of that makes BMO an AI robot. But what sets BMO apart is that she can understand joy and how to have fun. She is designed to be more. But what does that mean exactly? To be more than a robot and an artificial intelligence. To be more than drivers and apps, systems and cores, cables and disks, hardwares and softwares. Maybe BMO is just meant to be more human. BMO tries to be more human in many ways. The few examples that come to mind are when BMO brushes his teeth, pretends to pee,
Peeing! Oh, BMO, that's fantastic!
sings a song about how he got so pregnant,
Oh, BMO, how'd you get so pregnant? Who's the mother? Oh, who's the father? Shh.
drinks tea in a fancy way, and even does drugs. Yes, that is him doing drugs, people. Don't do it, or it will wipe out your core system drivers. So, what about feelings? BMO says that she cannot feel anything.
I am incapable of emotion, but you are making me chafed.
BMO, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
I have no feelings. You make my feelings happy. Ooh, I'm so simmery. I'm so mad. I'm so smoked. I'm a hot block. It's lonely. Newsflash, Hashad, you're in the house and you're made out of glass and you're breaking my china and I'm scared. No. Now it's too relatable. I'm okay. The unconscious is so complicated.
But as I showed just now, there are many instances where she expresses human emotions. Now, those can be just his programming to interpret situations and react to them in a human way. However, as a caregiving AI robot, in the episode All's Well That Rats Swell, he ignores the fact that he just got bit by a diseased rat and goes to Finn to get his boo-boo kissed. If his main priority as an AI robot is indeed figuring out emotions in order to be more human, he might have skipped his caretaker aspect and went straight to his so-called fun side. After all, he is programmed to be more, isn't he? Maybe trying to figure out how to be more human is his ultimate goal, and would that make him disregard other people's well-being in the future and make him turn against them unintentionally? I don't know, maybe I'm being a bit nitpicky. However, it is not a secret that he openly disobeys commands that are given to him. Even though he is an AI robot that should follow instructions, he especially refuses to follow Jake's commands for some reason.
BMO, turn the music down. BMO, turn it down. BMO, stop fake farting. BMO, keep it down.
It's my credit time. Jake.
No, BMO.
Yeah.
Ah! No, BMO, no more.
And he actually kills Jake in the episode Ghostfly.
This guy's named Paul.
I killed Jake. Yay, BMO.
That's pretty psychotic. Would that be another aspect that makes BMO more human? His capability to be destructive? What about football and bubble/air? Since BMO is like a baby almost,
Yeah, BMO's like a baby almost.
it would make sense that he has imaginary friends. Could be why he doesn't understand the severity of killing Jake with a karate move he learned from a magazine.
It's okay. I learned it out of a magazine.
Now, it could be possible that football and bubble/air might be from a different dimension that only BMO can see because of his highly advanced AI robot senses. But I'm going to assume that they are his play pretend mates, just for the sake of this argument. There's another AI robot in the series, and that is Amo. It is said that he's evil because he's programmed to take love and not give like BMO does. Being capable of love is not common at all for a robot or an AI. And would that set BMO apart from Amo when it comes to not harming others? Her emotional range isn't limited to only caring and nurturing, however. I'm sure you've noticed that she is very discriminatory towards Neptune, which gives me borderline racist vibes about her.
Hey, BMO, we should hang out more. We're both robots.
No, Nectar. I am not like you. Nectar is so cute now. I'm going to start treating him as an equal.
BMO is also pretty mean to Whipple, the sea monster. He could have easily tuned Whipple out or just turned himself off, but he chose to yell at his face, saying that no one wants to hear his ideas.
No one wants to hear your ideas!
Damn, BMO, calm down. And remember how he covered Sparkle's, whistling hand and then said, "Handsome baby," to insinuate that he didn't truly mean his first compliment as he said it?
What a handsome baby. Handsome baby.
He also tells Finn that his beauty is destroyed and that he looks like the devil when Finn changes his appearance to become Davy.
Oh, your beauty is destroyed!
BMO, how do I look?
Like the devil!
I'm sure there are other instances of BMO being mean, so let me know in the comments if you think of any. BMO is self-aware. She doesn't walk around following orders like a regular AI robot would. She is designed to be more. BMO doesn't clearly state that he wants to be more human, but looking at his behavioral pattern, I can easily say that he has a desire to become more human. There are some honorable mentions that I'd like to add to my conclusion about our AI robot wanting to be more human. In the episode Don't Look, where Finn has those hermit eyes, Finn calls BMO as his little angel. Then BMO turns into a real human boy with wings and a halo. After that, he has the most joyful and liberating laugh as he flies out from the window. And at the end of the episode, he falls down on Neptune's eye pie and says, "I just had the most wonderful dream." So I can safely assume that it's his wish to become more human. After all, it is a wonderful dream for him to see himself being a human. Another moment I'd like to mention is when BMO talks to Football in the mirror, and Football asks him, "BMO, are you a robot?" And BMO says to her, "Oh no, I'm a little living boy," which would definitely make him pass the security check. His play pretend mainly consists of him being human-like, just like when he pretends to be pregnant and a detective. In conclusion, I don't think BMO would harm anybody intentionally. However, being human-like comes with its own troubles.
I know that look. You just killed someone.
After all, humans are capable of doing terrible things to their surroundings, and BMO shows that he's capable of destruction.
Yeah, BMO, show me the stuff. Keep it coming.
I can't bear this burden any longer. It was me. I am the Bubujela Smasher.
BMO, how could you?
Yeah, unleash the beast. I think I just killed someone. Forever young.
So yes, he could possibly turn against others in the future, although we know that he doesn't do anything when Finn and Jake are still around. Maybe with the brothers being gone, something could possibly be triggered in him and he might try to harm others with the intent of trying to bring Finn and Jake back, just like Betty does. If his emotional range can develop in time, he might try to harm others with the intent of trying to bring Finn and Jake back. He might experience trauma with the loss of Finn and Jake. And maybe forgetting the name of Finn at the end of the show might just be a coping mechanism to try to get over and forget their loss and move on with his life. Remember him doing drugs? He might have been so devastated with the grief and his violence that he erased all of it from his memory. The sadness and the madness of my idea may sound preposterous to some. Just add a little bit of magic and you'll see what I mean. It is fun to imagine this quite possible story about BMO. And after all, Finn and Jake's episode in Distant Lands was really, really, really sad, but awesome at the same time. It is not possible for me to make a normal face when watching that episode.
Just make a normal face. See? Normal face.
And let's not forget the sob story of Simon Petrikov after he loses his ice powers. They both came after the original show and they were both delightful. Thank you for sticking around until the end of this video, and please like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed it.